I said, yo, man, I'm telling me I want to be live where I swear, not easy. My favorite rapper, my old man, I get it. My kid was doing, I'm breaking no problem. On my way, people calling me names, all the trouble I see, I ain't do at the peace. When the suffering, the sunset, I can't pay the phone, only how I get paid. Sooner or later, my hustle pay. Never, and I'm rushing myself. Keep it cool, everything have a CC. Too much rushing, I probably chasing. One day. One day. I'll get it cool. One day.
My hustle gonna pay one day. Enemies can gonna see my face. Me pa know I'm not rushing it. One day, success gonna come my way. I know my hustle gonna pay one day. Enemies can gonna see my face. Me pa know I'm not rushing it. One day, success gonna come my way. Yeah. My mama was so angry. My papa was so angry. My friend was your money. Any mess that will come on and miss. So I'm on my way to this person. I'm looking for money. Looking for money, looking for money. I want me mama happy. Want me baba happy. Want me my brothers and sisters to come around me.
Yeah, Capital, why you doing the hustle? Why saying the book by the Genesis? Shall come at the fire, shall come at the power. I feel never be working on Wednesday. You must look for the mind, you must look for the mind. All in the top, all in the week, all in the week. All in the sun, the
mama was so angry.
Look for air.
My papa was so angry. My friend was your money. Any mess that will come on and miss. So I'm
Amando, you are a famous star now. So what do you have to say to the audience out there? Run Your Form Fitness. I do all my training here at Fit First with my cousin Jovan. I specialize in 50 and over clients with functional movement. And I do other clients too, younger groups. I do kids also, but I specialize in functional movement and working with older clients and seniors and getting them to move constantly. You gotta keep moving. If we're not moving, we're losing teams, you know what I mean? So Your Form Fitness, we started to correct people's form. When you start out with good form, you usually get good results. So come check us out at Fit First. We are at Cranston.
From Fit First Alright, located at 1655 Elmwood Ave. Prescode, Rhode Island. We take care of all your personal training needs. We have 7 trainers here, including 2 boxing trainers. So whatever your goals, we can help you out. Come through, hit us up, 401-588-9517. We are Fit First RI on Instagram and all social media platforms.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lieutenant Commander J.R. Glapohkoa Chesson Talk Show. Today is Saturday, November the 5th. TGIF is gone, and we're on the weekend. And this weekend is supposed to be a marvelous day, especially today. Wow. They've been talking about it all week. So what it's going to be? 70, 75, 76, 77, 78? It's supposed to be somewhere out there. But whatever it is, enjoy it. Stay safe. Seat belts. And protect yourself. My young children. I'm sorry I had to move my things around on Facebook because some people been complaining that they can't get my videos. It seems that I'm on a private site. So I had to come back to my profile site. And I hope everybody has access to it now. My topics for this morning, we got to find out what's happening in our country. So I'm going to attempt to deal with it this morning. Liberia 2006 to 2022. Where did our leadership go wrong? And number 2, baking tea bread at Dr. Glenn S. Prescode Community Self-Help Vocational Baking School on the Buduburam Refugee Camp in the West African Republic of Ghana. Those are my 2 topics for this morning. So let me take a break, bring some ads on. Then we can settle back and see where this is going to take us. Okay? Stay on. I'll be right back in no time.
We are at Garden of Eve, Caribbean cuisine. So we have a beautiful outdoor that we have a selection of different type of food that you can enjoy. We have jerk chicken, jerk ribs, especially the weekend. We got some different specials gonna go on, and we are basic Haitian cooking, but also you can find a little bit of everything that we carry here. And we are at 405 Harris Avenue, Providence, Rhode Island. Thank you, come on by and try us out. Looking forward to see you guys.
2006, when Ellen Johnson Sirleaf became president, to 2022, where did our leadership go wrong? This bothers me a lot because as a political scientist, I try to study my society. I try to understand my society so well that when things happen, as soon as I see incidents that pique my senses of change within my society, I'm alerted to it. I got to speak it out because that averts the possibility of violence. Get people thinking. And that's necessary because right now we are exposed to all kinds of things in our society, especially we got drugs, we got misinformation, we got deception, we got lies, we got treachery, we got all kinds of things coming out of our society to mislead our young populace. So for a man like me, when I see these things, I don't care about the intricate, the politics between Liberty Party and Musa Ability. I know all the actors. I know Musa Ability. I know Darius Dillon. I know Lomi Kanga. I've dealt with them on the internet for long. I know how they think. I know how they behave. So those few people don't impact the masses of my people. My job is to get to the masses of my people, to hit your consciousness. So you can sit and think, say, what Chesson trying to say? What Chesson means? And when we try to think and try to analyze things from a positive perspective, that gives us the ability to build our senses and our ideals away from violence, away from negativity, to think on the possibilities of the things that can be. And there are so many things that can be for us today in our society. But when we lack these abilities, we fall back and back and back each time. So this is why I like to evaluate things. So let's look at our society from 2006 to 2022. Where did we go wrong? There were so many missteps and continue to be missteps. Firstly, because of personal greed. Many of the people that want to lead our society today have too many personal interests over the interests of Liberia and the Liberian people. And when we face these kind of issues and problems within our society, and we don't have people to decipher what is good and what is bad and what is right for us and what we should be arguing about today and be debating for changes in our society, it throws us further and further backward into the abyss. So, where did we go wrong? First of all, we came out of war. We came out of a situation that devastated our whole society, broke down our whole nation. All our institutions for societal advancement and progress were destroyed. Our socialization institutions, those institutions that deal with our children, our schools, the kindergartens, all those things were destroyed. And I'm talking about health and welfare. So when we have all these institutions destroyed, all our institutions for learning destroyed, all our institutions for advancing our cultural instincts and abilities, we lose sight of who we are. So just that the war alone broke our country down completely, tore every fabric of civilization out of us. So coming out of the war now, we never had any systems to put our people and children on the right course of mental rehabilitation, mental direction, mental development. We never had these things. We got it from war. We came into child stealer. We all kinds of corruption went on there. The lawlessness were there. Most of the things on the child stealer were partly military because the country was out of whack. Everybody was doing what they wanted to do. We had social war laws in the country. Taylor had to fight to bring sensibility to what was insensible from the war. Then on the other hand, there was Ellen Johnson and him fighting, Ben and you, all of them fighting. Nobody taking care of our wealth and resources. Everybody just plundering and plundering and plundering. We had no chance on a Taylor. So we finally got rid of Taylor now, and Ellen took the helm. As much as I want to really give Ellen credit for what has happened in our country, when I think about the past and how she is responsible for the war in our country, she's responsible for the breakdown of civility in our country, it's real hard. It's real hard. Because if we didn't go through all of this, there would be no need for us to be suffering what we're suffering today. And Ellen Johnson Sirleaf could not rehabilitate our country back to where it was before the war. She said she could do it, but she couldn't do it. Because we know very well our men are hard-headed. Liberian men are hard-headed. Yes, we have had women in our society leading us, but those women have been there because of strong men put them in those positions and kept them in those positions. But for a woman to take the helm of our leadership, it was for the first time in Africa and in Liberia. And Ellen's job was not easy. You can see that's why all the people during her first administration left. What did they accomplish? If they did accomplish anything, why didn't they stay on? Why all of them left? There was so much conflict and confusion amongst our leaders that some of them just decided to leave. We had enough. Just bringing our system back into power. We have lost a sense of language. After the war, people weren't speaking English no more. People were speaking all kind of gibberish. Everybody wanted to lead. Everybody wanted to have a ministry. Everybody wanted to. These are the things that Ellen Johnson Sirleaf had to endure. And I feel sorry for her too, because in the end, she couldn't trust nobody. Because our people were not conducive to change. Our society was not conducive to learning. Our society was not conducive to advancement. When all these things have been broken down through the war, then right on top of that came Ebola. Look at how many people Ebola wiped out. So that was another problem. She was being hit from one thing with the next. So she had to resort to what she knew best, going back to the old order. Because if you bring all these people from America to work in our government with the hope of changing our government, and you bring them all these hopes of lucrative salaries, man, look at how we're paying these people, man. We're paying these people that no, we have never paid anybody in our government before. 15,000, 20,000 to encourage these people to come to Liberia. And these people came to Liberia and they didn't want to change that behavior. Look at right now how much people still getting paid. That the payment Ellen had for these people to introduce them and encourage them to leave their families and their homes right away and come to Liberia and help with the redevelopment of our country. But when these people came, they saw the difficulty that was here. Most of them just lasted 1 year and went back. So Ellen was forced with putting all her children in there. Now she should have known better. whether you can trust the people or not. When you put your own children in positions, the responsibility becomes yours. And that's what our people don't understand. Because the buck stops with the leader. And if you are a leader and you know that the system is so difficult, because when Ellen Johnson Sirleaf came in, we did have a difficult system. We did have a difficult system. And the people she brought could not handle the system. So after her first term of office, everybody left. So she was left with nobody. So she had to bring people in. But that's what I'm saying with nepotism. When you bring your family in, you own it. You own the issues. You own the problem. You own everything. Whereas if Ellen Johnson Sirleaf had brought other Liberians in, despite the fact that there were still challenges, and we couldn't pay these people the amount of monies that Ellen Johnson had introduced into the payment, 15,000, 20,000, we couldn't pay that money. We couldn't pay that kind of money. And these people that were coming in after Ellen Johnson Sirleaf did not, after her first term, did not possess the kind of professionalism, the kind of education and promotional aspect of leadership that we wanted. So she started filling the place up with her family. And when the corruption started, the stealing started, it started falling back on her. That's when her son Robert stole our gas money, she said, I take responsibility. Who else will take responsibility? You put him there. Whereas if you have put another Liberian there, no matter what the pay was, Liberian people are going to work. Even if you reduce the pay for 15,000, you brought it down to some reasonable pay among Liberian people after her first term, and say, look, our country, this is the pay. You don't want to stay, you can go. People left anyway. She had to restructure her whole government after the first term, basically, putting all her children in all these positions. These were technical positions. And despite the fact that these children were educated, their abilities could not reach to the far ends of our country. They didn't have enough experience. They didn't have enough knowledge of our culture, of our system, for them to work for the Liberian people. Ellen children were products of the Turbo administration. All they knew was stealing and corruption and family and all of that. And that's what they brought in our government. And she couldn't hold them accountable, nor responsible for the stealing and the bad leadership, man. They did what they wanted to do. They're still doing what they want to do today. And now Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in her old age got to keep traveling all over Africa to ensure that she stays in power to protect her family in Liberia. This is all about protecting her family in Liberia, protecting their interests. Because our society, the system, societal living was broken down, man. We're still trying to bring our society back to life. Everything was broken down. The 12 years that Alice Johnson stayed in power, she didn't build institutions. The first institution she built was her military, her security. When she built her security, then we go into building our society. But Ellen Johnson Sirleaf didn't do all of that. What she did, she mostly focused on sending people abroad to get education to come back, bringing people from abroad to come back who have been out of Liberia for so long and did not know what our society really needed. And that's what we're suffering today. Our people still have not benefited from all the things we could have benefited from under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. We have not, because there was no system of planning, of directing her energies and her programs towards the poor Liberian people. You know, it was just open. It was just laissez-faire. And anybody just came in, they accepted them. When you had a degree or they thought you knew something, they put you somewhere and just left you there. There was no rehabilitation of the country. Now I'm not talking about the people, just the country. If the country is destroyed and we got to rehabilitate people, we got to rehabilitate the country first. And how do we do that? We need people who are conscious of the very, very foundational issues of our society. People who know our tribes, people who know the issues of the tribes, people who know how to relate to the tribes, people who can direct our indigenous people in a way that they will accept, devoid of violence and the negativity they suffered under the war. These things were not put in place. After our war, everybody was focusing on power, who will take over, the mountain, who is, who will do this, and we're not focusing on how we're going to restructure our country, how we're going to build our country, how we're going to direct our society. Those are things that are very fundamental to nation building. If the people are not receptive to the teachings, to the plans, to the direction, how will you get them to follow your instructions? How will you get them to do what you want them to do? And this is where we are today, man. We never had these kind of rehabilitative issues and matters pursued in our country. Everybody just came and did what they want to do, say, oh, we'll do this, we'll do that. Look at our roads. You talk about nation building. The first thing we need to do in our country, we can't travel in our country. Our national security is dead. Right there. It's dead. It's totally dead. From 1847 to today, we can't travel through our country. Even under Eddie Johnson's time, our country is still handicapped. How can we build a nation? How can we build a nation when we cannot reach the far and we can't get to the far reaches of our country? Everybody just focusing on Rover and environs. We can't exist like that. That affects our mental being. That affects our mental living. We've been here for years and years and years and we can't access our country. What kind of nation development are we on? I mean, every person that comes, we say we're building a hospital. You build a hospital, people can't go to the hospital. You say you're building this, you build that, people can't get to it. What's wrong with us, man? What's wrong with us? Because that's one of the first things to rehabilitating our nation. Open the nation. Open the nation. Free the people. Let the people be able to travel. Because when you come from war, when you come from being stagnated, kept down, you want to move around your nation. You want to feel free. You want to breathe. And when you can't do that in your country, even to the day, man, that's a problem. We have mental problems that lead to us breaking down our whole system of existence because we cannot solve our mental problems. We have serious mental problems. Look, they're not the Zocos alone. First of all, we got to rehabilitate our system. Our country is not rehabilitated. Our warlords walking around our country, people who have killed our people with impunity, walking around our country as government officials. That can't happen. That's a mental issue. How will we resolve our mental problem? People will just get angry and mad and violence. They don't know why. But those are the issues. We did not rehabilitate our country. We just came from war and just started business as usual, right from where we started from the war. Then all the other issues started coming. the Ebola, this and this, the stealing, the corruption, the lies, the treachery, the betrayal. All of these things started coming in because they were never rehabilitated. Our country was never restructured. We just came from war and started doing things like nothing happened. That's why we have no war crimes code today, because people acting like nothing happened. But we know something happened. We know when we go to bed at night and we hear Prince Johnson and all these people leading us, it hurts our hearts. It makes us bitter. We wake up in the morning mad. We don't know why we're mad. But those are the reasons why we're mad, because those are subconscious things of reality that we never resolve. We never dealt with. All these rogues and murderers just running all around us. We have mental issues. Our whole society have mental issues. We got to resolve these issues. And the only way to resolve is to rehabilitate our country. We got to start with the country first. The country is broken down. The country is run amok. The country is terrible. We got criminals and murderers and evil people running around our country like normal people. It's not normal. It's not normal. Are you people crazy? Look at in the United States of America, you could commit a crime here, they hunt you down. Why is America got all the war laws and war criminals in Liberia and they want us to believe that normal living? We can't live normal. That's not normal, say. Yes, we need to overthrow the damn government. This is not normal, say. How in the hell would we be living in a nation with the very people that kill our mothers and fathers and children serving as our presidents and leaders? Are you crazy? America wouldn't tolerate this. Why do you think we in Liberia will tolerate it? Are we inhuman or insensitive? You got to rehabilitate our country. You got to rehabilitate our country. Our country has not been rehabilitated. And the more we deceive ourselves, the more we pretend everything is okay, the more our country will go down and down because we have issues. People have personal issues and problems that need to be resolved. And how do we resolve those problems? By getting rid of the war laws and war criminals that causing us mental issues. We are suffering from mental issues in Liberia. It's not natural for people to kill your mom and pa and your family to be your leaders. To live in a civilized society and say they're governing you after they have done all the atrocities to your families. Are we crazy? So right there, we got to show love for our country, man. We got to show love for our country. We got to rehabilitate our country. It's not about me or you or the next person. It's not about individuals. It's about our country. When our country is not healed, how can we live in there and be healed? We can't. So this is my lesson for this morning. I think I dealt enough of this topic. So let me take a break. I got a video here for my people. Let me go out and come back in, and we'll go on with the topic. But we need to save ourselves. We need to rehabilitate our country. We cannot love ourselves and our country is under duress, under stress. If we don't rehabilitate Liberia, we ourselves cannot be rehabilitated. And how do we rehabilitate our country? We got to free ourselves of these murderers and criminals and bastards leading us today, calling themselves lawmakers. I don't care who put them in power. This tribalism, this negativism, got to go away. You can't put your tribal warlords and your tribal killers and murderers over us. There will be no peace in Liberia. There will be no peace in Liberia.
kitchen, West African, mainly Liberian dishes.
How long has this business been in operation?
We've been in business for about 5 years now.
How has the cooperation of the community been?
It's been pretty much supportive, not just Africans, but also our brothers and sisters of the African American community also been supportive, as well as other African and even other nationalities. So far, so good. We've been having a lot of support from different ethnic groups and different nationalities.
Well. Talking about my people on the Buduburam refugee camp, they are tremendous in their efforts to excel. These are Liberian people, man. These are Liberian people coming together, doing what they got to do, man. I'm so impressed with these children. And they graduate in December. This December, my first class is graduating. That's an outstanding feat. So let's watch them this morning. We've been watching them as they bake all this stuff. This morning they're baking tea bread. Let's check it out and see what they're going to give us.
Drink tea bread today. Every time, Rose, really play with baby. I'm just standing small, yeah. Come on now. Please, I will call you. Please.
The way the world is right.
I will call you.
Why? Why? Is there ever my family sitting here? Wash your hands. Yeah, put it there. I'll go on mine. Leonard, don't lay on the thing over there.
Yeah, I got to yeah. It's all yeah, but I'm recalling you, please. I'm recalling you.
What happened to you?
Go for the opening and fish. That is their soup that the back before you go there. Just there, you go there. Fish at the other. Fish and people say fish. Then the packet.
I beg your always
Take your hand from there.
Me up drop the fly, I beg you.
When you put bread and I just put up their hand with it.
That's a cheese, bro. I keep on from my distribution. I love you, madam.
You're looking nice today.
I'm
I will call you, Mama. I beg you. I beg you. You come out, please come out here.
dedicated to cooking from the stove. We've been here for a year and a few days actually, and this is the spot that you want to come to when you want to indulge in great soul food. Here we offer collard greens, baked macaroni and cheese, we have the fish and grits, shrimp and grits on Sundays of course, and a lot of other soul food norms added with a little bit of our fusion. Chef Summer Duffin is the chef in the kitchen, and just come on down and check us out. You will not regret it.
Hey, another Saturday is done and another week is done. My show is done. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me for 1 week. And those who didn't join me, you missed. But you still got next week. I'll be here next week. Will you be here with me? Can you handle this? Can you handle this? And Tony Commander J.R. Glapohkoa Chesson Talk Show is done. And I am out of here. Have a good day. Have a good weekend.